Wish you a very good morning to all. So we are in chapter 19, excretory system and its elimination. So in our previous video presentation, the explanation part from the NCERT textbook we have completed, and in this video I would like to go for the exercise and exercise questions to be discussed. Here excretory products and their elimination, here in place of U, I is there, so that you need to correct. So excretory products and their elimination exercise today we will discuss. So all my dear students, we are in NCERT solutions for class 11 biology chapter 19, that is excretory products and their elimination. Now one by one all the exercise questions we will discuss. Question number 1, define glomerular filtration rate. GFR. It is a glomerular filtration rate. So GFR is the amount of glomerular filtrate formed in all the nephrons of the both kidneys per minute. In a healthy individual, it is about 125 ml per minute. Glomerular filtrate contains glucose, amino acids, sodium, potassium, urea, uric acid, ketone bodies and large amount of water. So this is about the GFR, that is glomerular filtration rate. Question number 2, explain the auto-regulatory mechanism of GFR. Explain the auto-regulatory mechanism of GFR. So as we know that GFR, it's a glomerular filtration rate. The mechanism by which the kidney regulates the glomerular filtration rate is auto-regulative. It is carried out by juxtaglomerular apparatus. Generally, it is juxtaglomerular apparatus is a microscopic structure located between the vascular pole of the renal corpuscle and the retaining distal convoluted tubule of the same nephron. And GFR plays a crucial role in regulating the renal blood flow and glomerular filtration rate. When there is a fall in the glomerular filtration rate, it activates the juxtaglomerular cells to release renin. So renin is a main which is secreted by juxtaglomerular cells that stimulates the glomerular blood flow, thereby bringing the GFR back to the normal. So renin brings the GFR back to the normal by the activation of the renin-angiotensin 2 mechanism. So renin-angiotensin 2 mechanism will be activated by GFR. So it can be controlled by renin and GFR will be coming at the normal. Question number 3, indicate whether the following statements are true or false. Maturation is carried out by the reflex, it's correct. ADH helps in the water elimination, making the urine hypotonic, it's false. Third is the protein free fluid is filtered from blood plasma in the Bowman capsule, it's true. Henle's loop plays an important role in the concentrating the urine, so that is also true. And last, glucose is actively reabsorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule, that all are true. So only one is false, that is ADH helps in the water elimination, making the urine hypotonic, so that is only false statement. Question number 4, give a brief account of the counter current mechanism. So here in this question we have to discuss the mechanism of the kidney. The counter current mechanism operating inside the kidney is the main adaptation for the conservation of water. There are two counter current mechanisms inside the kidney. They are Henle's loop and vasa recta. The Henle's loop is a U-shaped part of the nephron. Blood flows in the two limbs of the tube in the opposite direction, and this gives rise to the counter currents. The vasa recta is an efferent arteriole which forms a capillary network around the tubules inside the renal medulla. It runs parallel to Henle's loop and is U-shaped. The blood flows in opposite directions in the two limbs of vasa recta. As a result, the blood entering the renal medulla in the descending limb comes in close contact with the outgoing blood in the ascending limb. So whenever this question will be asked, this diagram is compulsory. When it will ask in 5 marks, you have to draw this diagram. If it will be asked in 3 marks, diagram is not needed. And the osmolarity increase from 300 osmol per liter in the context of 1200 osmol per liter in the inner medulla by counter current mechanism. It helps in maintaining the concentration gradient, which is helps in easy movement of the water from the collecting tubules. The two type of tubules when it's connected, PCT, DCT. The gradient is a result of the movement of sodium chloride, that is NaCl, and urea. Question number 5. Describe the role of liver, lungs and skin in excretion. So here the liver, lungs and skin also plays an important role in the process of excretion. The role of liver. The liver is the largest gland in the vertebrates. It helps in the excretion of cholesterol, steroid hormones, vitamins, drugs and other waste materials through bile. Urea is formed in the liver by the ornithine cycle. The ammonia, a toxic substance, is quickly changed into urea in a liver, hence eliminated from the body. Because urea is dangerous toxic substance to be considered for the liver. The liver also changes the decomposed hemoglobin pigment in bile pigments called bilirubin and biliverdin. So that is the important role of liver. The role of lungs. Lungs help in removing waste materials such as carbon dioxide from the body. So that generally we know that only one function which is carried out by the lung, that is removing the carbon dioxide, which is toxic for our organs. So that is excreted. That must be excreted. The role of skin. The skin has many glands which help in excreting waste products through pores. It has two types of glands, sweat and sebaceous glands. Sweat glands are highly vascular and tubular glands that separate the waste products from the blood and excrete them in the form of sweat. The sweat excretes excess salt and water from the body, and sebaceous glands are branch glands that secrete an oily secretion called sebum. So generally you know this, whenever we are doing exercise, whenever we are doing hard work in front of open area, so that time the perspire we call it and that fluid will come out and with little bit salty. So that also you know, that is carried out by sebaceous glands and sweat glands. Now explain the micturition. Now micturition is the process by which the urine from the urinary bladder is excreted. As the urine accumulates, the muscular walls of the bladder expand. The walls stimulate the sensory nerves in the bladder, setting up a reflex action. This reflex stimulates the urge to pass out urine. To discharge urine, the urethral sphincter relaxes and the smooth muscles of the bladder contract. This forces the urine out from the bladder. An adult human excretes about 1 to 1.5 liters of urine per day. Question number 7. Match the items of the column with 1 with 2. So here ammonotelism, Bowman's capsule, micturition and uricotelism. So here we can Bowman capsule generally, which is renal tubule. I was worried why the option is not given. It is there, ADH and opposite there. So ammonotelism, that is Bonifice, Bowman capsule, renal tubule, micturition, urinary bladder, as we have discussed in previous question, and uricotelism, that is buds, and ADH, water reabsorption. What is meant by the term osmoregulation? This can be asked in 2 marks. So osmoregulation is a homeostatic mechanism that regulates the optimum temperature of water and salts in the tissues and body fluids. It maintains the internal environment of the body by water and ionic concentration. Question number 9. Terrestrial animals are generally either ureotelic or uricotelic, not ammonotelic. Why? Generally, when we talk about ureotelic, uricotelic or ammonotelic, we should understand what is the difference between them. So terrestrial animals are either ureotelic or uricotelic and not ammonotelic because of the following main reasons. Ammonia is highly toxic, that is the reason ammonotelic, and therefore it needs to be converted into a less toxic from such a urea to uric acid. And terrestrial animals need to conserve water, and ammonotelic generally they are aquatic. Since ammonia is soluble in water, it cannot be eliminated continuously. Hence, it is converted into urea and uric acid. These forms are less toxic and also insoluble in water. This helps terrestrial animals conserve water. So that is the reason they are not ammonotelic. Question number 10. What is the significance of juxtaglomerulus apparatus GJA in the kidney functioning? When we talk about juxtaglomerular apparatus, is a complex structure made up of few cells of glomerulus, distal tubule and afferent and efferent arterioles. It is located in the specialized region of nephron, wherein the afferent arteriole and the distal convoluted tubule come in the direct contact with each other. The juxtaglomerular apparatus contain the specialized cells of the efferent arteriole known as juxtaglomerular cells. The cells contain the enzyme renin that can sense blood pressure. When glomerular blood flow or the glomerular blood pressure or glomerular filtration rate decreases, it activates the juxtaglomerular cells to release renin. As soon as the renin is released, the renin converts the angiotensin in the blood into angiotensin 1 and further into angiotensin 2. So angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor that increases the glomerular blood pressure and filtration rate. Angiotensin 2 also stimulates the adrenal cortex of the adrenal gland to produce aldosterone. So aldosterone increases the rate of absorption of sodium ions and water from the distal convoluted tubule and the collecting duct. So as my thought, the renin plays an important role in the JGA. So that you should remember. And this also leads to an increasing in the blood pressure and glomerular filtration rate. This mechanism, known as renin-angiotensin mechanism, ultimately leads to an increased blood pressure. So angiotensinogen that secrete the renin, and renin convert into angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2, and converting enzymes, the aldosterone which is secreted, the stimulate of the aldosterone secretion, aldosterone increase water and the sodium retention and increase blood pressure, and that generally we call as a vasoconstrictor. Question number 11. A chordate animal having a flame cells as excretory structures. So here Amphioxus is an example of chordate that has flame cells as excretory structure. Flame cell is a type of excretory and osmoregulatory system, and cortical portions projecting between the medullary pyramid in the human kidney. The cortical nephron, cortical portion projecting between the medullary pyramid in the human kidney are the column of Bertini, and they represent the cortical tissues present within a medulla. And third is a loop of capillary running parallel to the Henle's loop. The loop of capillary that run parallel to Henle's loop is known as a vasa recta. Already we have discussed. Question number 12. Fill in the blanks. Ascending limb of Henle's loop is impermeable to water, whereas the descending limb is permeable to the reabsorption of water from distal part of the tubules to facilitate by hormone, that is vasopressin. Generally we pronounce it vasopressin. The dialysis fluid contains all the constituents as in plasma except the nitrogenous waste, because dialysis is a process where we are removing the nitrogenous or toxic substances from the kidney. Fourth means D. A healthy adult human excretes 25 to 30 gram of urea per day. So this is about the exercise discussion. So all my students, you will write this exercise in your notebook. So we have completed chapter 16, 17, 18 and 19 chapters, and in our next video presentation we would like to go for the next chapter. So and in your coming examination, chapter number 18 will be part of your half-yearly examination, of your evaluation 2. So 18 chapter, which is circulation, that will be asked in your evaluation 2. So that also you will be remember in your mind. So thank you. Have a nice day. Please write all the question answers which are there in NCERT textbook in your notebook with the good handwriting. So thank you and have a nice day.